Hello everyone, I am Sir NG Javier and welcome to the sixth episode of Creative Writing 101. Previously, we discussed drama and its three categories of elements. For this episode, we will try to see the connection among different dramas and how these connections were done. In your reading and writing skills class, you surely had discussed the concept of intertextuality. Do you still remember it? If you wish to restudy it with context and hypertext, you can see the link right here. Okay, for this discussion's sake, let's recall its definition. The word intertextuality was coined in 1960 by the French literary theorist named Julia Kristeva. In her theory, Kristeva argued that there is a cohesive force in literature that links text from the past to the present. Simply, she explains that literary pieces are actually inspired by previous writings or even their contemporary ones. One common example of a classic piece that had surely influenced a lot of succeeding writings is William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Many stories, movies, television series, even songs had been inspired by this classic's storyline. Intertextuality is evident in many dramas in different ways. This is due to the varied types of intertextuality writers and playwrights use. The first type is allusion. Allusion is actually a figure of speech. It is an indirect reference from someone or something from a classic or famous literature. For example, chocolate is Jacob's kryptonite. Here, we describe chocolate as a kryptonite reference from the Superman comic series' kryptonite, which is the hero's weakness. Thus, this statement means that chocolate is Jacob's weakness. Allusions have been used many times in literary pieces and in dramas. Look at this. The lid of Pandora's box had flown open and had come off suddenly after smashing the hinges, and hope had flown out of the window. This is an excerpt from the book The Little City of Hope by F. Marion Crawford. Here, Crawford alludes to the myth where Pandora was ordered not to open the box, but because of her curiosity, she opened the box, releasing death, evil, and miseries in the world. The second type of intertextuality in drama is parody. This is quite popular as it is usually seen on comedy shows on television. A parody is an imitation of a work in a satirical or sarcastic manner to mock or to produce a humorous effect to the original work. One famous creator of parodies is the longest running gag show in Philippine TV, Bubblegum. Some of the parodies they produced are Mulawit, a parody of the classic fantasy series Mulawin, Scavengers, as a parody of the Avengers Assemble movie. Another famous parody is Seth Graham Smith's Pride and Prejudice with Zombies. This is a parodic version of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. The third type of intertextuality is quotation. This is a direct reference to another text. This is done by inserting famous lines from previous texts. Look at this. We should see things not on how it looks, but based on how we feel. As to what the little prince said, it is only the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Here, the speaker used a direct quotation from the novel The Little Prince to support his point. Quotation is also used in some comedy stage acts. Look at this.
Bakit hindi mo ako nakikilala? Lagi mo ako nakikita araw-araw! Ano ba problema mo sa akin? Sa pelikulang Sigaw. Sa pelikulang Singaw.
Again, quotation is as simple as quoting famous lines from famous characters from previous stories. Finally, the last type of intertextuality is adaptation. This is very common nowadays. This is simply a recreation of a famous piece. Although adaptation is somehow free to deviate from the details of the original piece, it must stick to the original storyline. One very famous example of this is the adaptation of J.K. Rowling's hit book series, Harry Potter. Producers made 8 adaptation movies of the 7 books. In the Philippines, adaptation became common as different television networks adapted and recreated international TV series like Descendants of the Sun, Lovers in Paris, Endless Love, Marimar, La Lola, Rosalinda, and more. The most recent adaptation made on Philippine TV is the adaptation of the hit Wattpad series, His Into Her, which can be seen on ABS-CBN managed media. Again, the four types of intertextuality in drama are allusion, parody, quotation, and adaptation. Intertextuality may seem like copying concepts from previous literature, but it is actually important. It is important because it leads readers to a much richer experience of reading. It provides new interpretations and it brings into the text another meaning, concept, or story. It shows the connection and the continuity of text and of cultures. It also allows us to recall earlier texts to gain new insights and meanings relevant to the present time. It also raises questions concerning the nature of authorship and originality. It can also help students to make their own text from the knowledge of others and referencing other texts. And it shows how a similar idea can be expressed through different cultural practices. And that's it for this episode. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. Please make sure that you are subscribed to our channel so you'd be updated of our next episodes. I am Sir NGF here, and this is Creative Writing 101.